All right, it is the big question here on Morning Kickaround. There is a lot of projects, clubs, all sorts of news across the country. But what is the progress on some of these USL One stadiums? I know MK Ultras have been really asking the question, and there is some developments. What do you got for us, Jason?
Well, okay, you said USL League One. I want to be accurate here. The reason for this conversation today is not about USL League One. It's actually about the championship, because Milwaukee is a town we've talked about
Oh,
having a plan to bring a USL championship team to Wisconsin. And I think we even discussed the final 10 names that they had put up on their website as
oh,
potential names. This might go ways back for some people, but you recall this conversation? You
yeah, I
remember
do
that?
recall there was the iron workers, the iron. There was a variety of names, all varying degrees of good and bad. I remember that.
There was some weird ones in there that we were like, which one's the best one? I'm going to give you the final 10. You ready? Because we did a video on this, but we'll just recap a little since we're going to talk Milwaukee. Milwaukee Tall Boys,
Yes.
Goodland or Goodland, I don't know how they say it in Wisconsin. Lake Effect, Milwaukee Iron, that's the one you were remembering.
Mhm.
1846 Milwaukee. Imagine that's the date of founding for the city of Milwaukee.
Probably.
Milwaukee Barons, Milwaukee Brigade, Fresh Coast, which sounds like a line of clothing I'm too old to wear.
Yeah,
That's what
Fresh Coast is like the new inland rollerblade company or something.
Cream City, which I think we liked, but wondered. I mean, I understand where there's a
I do
history.
remember there was context to all of these. They weren't quite as random as they seem on the face.
And Milwaukee Industrial, which I like, but I think is a tough sell marketing wise. Okay, those are the top 10, or those are the 10 finalists for the name the team competition for Milwaukee Pro Soccer, which you can still find on MilwaukeeProSoccer.com. But I have bad news. And this was passed along to me by somebody on Blue Sky. This is from Jordan, actually. And this is over at MilwaukeeMag.com. Headline: Has the Iron District soccer development stalled out? 11 months after the developer privately floated the idea of a rare tax exemption, no work has begun on the downtown stadium and surrounding entertainment district. And I think this is a very good example of soccer ideas, professional soccer teams being planned, getting out over their skis before all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed on stadium plans and those kind of things, making big statements, putting out a name the team contest, and then that's my brake
Record
noise,
scratch, yeah.
or the record scratch, either one of those two. And nothing's happening. Like this is a very in-depth, long piece by Rich Ravito at Milwaukee Mag, and it outlines how there's nothing happening there. And there's even a new idea for the site where Milwaukee was supposed to be building their soccer team. And again, so much of this is tied up in this whole mixed use entertainment district, things that you have to do this and this to get the tax break to make the stadium is the anchor of the development, but you also want to build apartment buildings and you want to have a concert venue and all this stuff. And this is just the way the world works right now.
When you see the press releases for stadiums, mixed use is definitely a red flag for problems.
I mean, I don't know that it's always a bad thing, mixed use, but in terms of like, why is the soccer stadium part of the plan to appeal to a civic element, a civic pride element that's going to help the mixed use development plan get through? Because that's what the developer wants. What the developer really wants to make money on isn't the soccer stadium. Soccer stadiums are not good investments that way. Not really. And obviously some of this is again, it's like, like the state or the county or the region has a stadium tax exemption, or there's something in the code that says you can get money towards building a stadium if you meet certain requirements. It's just a way to access money. It's not always about, is this a great place to build a soccer stadium because we think Milwaukee is a great place for pro soccer. Maybe it will be. Like, those things can be true at the same time. But man, this is very frustrating to read that basically nothing has happened. And if you look at the history of the Milwaukee plan, Rob, it was 2000. Yeah, 2022, they were planning for 26, but then they had to delay, and they made an announcement about that in 2023. And now it's almost impossible to imagine this getting done in time for 2000. It can't happen for 26.
No.
But they have not made any other update. And all of the people that Rich Ravito, the writer, has called have not given him any comment about where things stand, including USL.
No, it's really unfortunate that has not progressed at all. When you see 3 years since you got people excited, and then just for crickets to incur, that's unfortunate. Looking down the row, what other teams would you say we have an update from on this one, Jason?
So again, USL Championship. It is New Mexico United. Look what I'm wearing right now. Look at that. I'm wearing a New Mexico United shirt. Shout out to our friend Ron Patel, who was on the show a couple weeks back and talking about New Mexico United. This is a good one, actually. This is Albuquerque's Business Journal reporting that Peter Trevisani, the owner of New Mexico United, thinks that they are getting to that place of making actual progress on their stadium, Rob. And, again, you'd never count your chickens before they're hatched in these cases. But there is reason. He says he expects more legal wrangling, but there was a ruling in the courts there in Albuquerque that went their way, clearing the way for construction of a privately funded stadium at Albuquerque's Balloon Fiesta Park. The district court rejected the latest appeal by 3 local neighborhood associations seeking to prevent stadium construction on the city-owned site. I mean, again, I don't know how to talk about these local issues, because while I, as a soccer fan from afar, wearing a New Mexico United shirt that Ron Patel sent me, and being a friend of Ron Patel and interested in the growth of soccer, this all sounds great to me. Let's build the stadium. But I'm sure there are people on the ground in Albuquerque where that balloon culture is very important to them, that are like, no, this is a terrible use of the land for Albuquerque. We don't like soccer. We don't care. And who am I to tell them that they're wrong? But it does look like they're moving forward. He says if the city's able to finish its work and get the site ready by next summer, 2027 is not out of the question. So they're looking at 27 for Albuquerque right now at the very earliest. They want to get 7,500 seats together and then build from there.
Yeah, another team, we've referenced them a few times now. Fort Wayne, another team, got shovels in the ground last week. There was a big public unveiling of Fort Wayne, their USL 2 team, and now going to USL 1. So, we're talking about, Milwaukee stalling, some legal wrangling still in the works, but things positive in Albuquerque. But Fort Wayne, all systems go out there by the looks of it.
I mean, I would love, just as a guy who likes good vibes, I'm a good vibes guy, Rob. I would love for people to all be on board, like for the city to be like, this is a great idea. For the people of the city to be like, this is a great idea. For the soccer team, obviously, it's a great idea. For the fans, like that, we would prefer that all of these be completely smooth sailing. Again, that's impossible. I mean, as Mike Thomas, who is an MK Ultra, says, any site in the country will have people against the stadium. 100%. Absolutely. That is very true. I mean, anytime any locality tries to make progress towards something that they see as either, in this case, bringing some civic pride and giving fans an opportunity to go out and see their soccer team, or just to build more housing. Like, hey, we don't have enough housing in our county. Can we build more housing? Let's have a plan. Oh, this is the plan. We're to build more housing. Very rich people go, no, we don't want more housing. We don't want more people in our county. And now we're back to square one again. And I don't know. It's just, that stuff is frustrating. That is that. And again, if I'm just falling on the side of being a soccer fan, I'm glad that there's progress in Albuquerque. I'm frustrated about Milwaukee, happy about Fort Wayne. And that's only 3 out of 12, 15, 12, 20 projects across the country.
Yeah, I wonder how much the USL's upper brass is knocking on the door of Milwaukee, because you'd think that a city of that size and seemingly that amount of attention and butts in seats, if they're able to get a club running, you think that they'd want them in the mix here for this whole next stage of development of a D1 league in the works, a pro rel. You think you want Milwaukee in that mix if it's even on the table.
But what can USL do, right? USL,
like, hey, what's going on here, guys?
Well, I mean, I'm sure they're asking questions. But, if a writer reaches out and they don't have a response, or they don't respond, clearly they don't have any answers. Because if they had an answer, I mean, they're not going to say it's bad unless it's dead. right? And unless it's completely dead, they're not going to give a negative response. So you're asking them, hey, do you have a comment on what's going on in Milwaukee? And if they don't respond, they're still hoping. They're still trying to see if there's going to be momentum. Maybe the people in Milwaukee, and I do believe that one of the principals involved in the Milwaukee club is the guy who helped start Forward Madison, right? So this is somebody with some history. I think there was actually a minor league baseball team owning group up in Wisconsin that pulled all of this off. I think I met these guys in Richmond years ago when they went around. What's that beer that you can only get in Wisconsin, Rob? Do you know that beer?
It's escaping me, but is it like
Spotted Cow, something
yeah,
like
that's
that.
the one. Yeah, I was gonna say the White Horse, but Spotted Cow is correct.
I think it's Spotted Cow. They brought some Spotted Cow with them around the country when they were touring with Forward Madison a couple years back, and I actually went out and met them, and I guess drank some Spotted Cow. Maybe I drank too much. I don't remember, but these guys are, they're business people, but they're also very much in that we can create something local and interesting and connected to all of this. I hope it works out. I hope it works out to the benefit of the city, to the benefit of soccer fans, and we get a team in that. You're right. That's a place that should have a pro team, and they should be part of this next wave.
Yeah, you think it's big enough city, when you talk about NBA sort of terms, it's on the smaller side. But when we're talking about the Albuquerques, the El Pasos, and the Boise's of the world, Milwaukee, that's got some gravity to it and some and a touch of gravitas, and could be like a Midwest sort of focal point for it. And hopefully that does progress and that they would be an asset there. Talk about side notes as far as stadium development. Detroit City FC having still trying to wrangle with the 1.5 million gallons of water in the abandoned hospital to get out.
Oh, really?
And they found a dead body in there.
No, no, Rob, no.
Yeah, they found a dead body.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna have to look up. Is this on the news, or did you know somebody who knows somebody?
No, that is courtesy of the Morning Kick Around Discord server. Wow. We were talking about this very subject, and producer Jenny actually threw in the chat Yeah, that's not. It wasn't like a relic, a skeleton, a dinosaur, or anything. It was a new one. But
wait, hold on. What do you mean by new? This is now this is a show I need to see. What is going on? Wow.
Yeah, check your local crime, true crime podcast. But yeah,
Did Detroit, they have to change their name. They have to be the Detroit Zombies now. Did Detroit City FC have cameras chronicling their plan to build this stadium? Because if they don't, we missed an opportunity here. This is better than Welcome to Wrexham. This is way better. Detroit City. Oh my God.
Well, we can have a whole docuseries, because I remember one of my last episodes of Michigan Soccer Central podcast, I talked to Indy 11 president, I believe, and they were knocking down an old stadium in the hopes of building their stadium. This is about a year ago now. A lot of stories have changed since then. And I just joked, oh, that's an old building you knocked down. Like, you haven't come across any skeletons or anything. And he's like, oh, no. And literally in the news the next week in Indianapolis, they found like relics of some of our ancestors there in Indianapolis. So we could do like maybe a little spin-off, the ghost stories of soccer stadiums or something.
Soccer zombies. We could do a video on soccer zombie stories. Wow. This is way more prosaic and not at all as interesting as dead bodies being found in various soccer related places. But I did see that our listeners, the MK Ultra, somebody was updating us, maybe a commenter, when we talked about some of the USL League One projects. One of them we mentioned was Eugene out there in Oregon. And I believe somebody, clarified for us that the League One Eugene project is connected to an already existing USL League Two team out there. I believe that's the case. So that we could add that to the list of clubs that have that connection. It may not be a direct trying to, grow into professional soccer from USL League Two, but I believe there is a connection. I just wanted to mention that.
Speaking of commenter feedback, apparently we say Boise wrong. It's Boise, not with it's an S-E-E, not a Z-E at the end there, which
is that right? Okay.
At least someone chimed in. It was news to me, but someone was saying that we were saying Boise wrong.
I'll check with my sister. If it's Boise, my apologies. We'll have to make it work. Sometimes you just don't say things right because you're not from that place. Like I don't know. There's lots of stuff in your area, Rob, that is impossible for me to figure out why you say it the way you say it. Detroit is a wild place for that.
It's a choose your own adventure with French influence on English, really.
That's
And
what
then
I'm
throw a
saying.
little bit of Native American, maybe a little Polish, and you got the
Yeah.
whole kit and caboodle for us in
Yeah,
this
it's
area.
a wild adventure. Why is that pronounced that way? I don't know, it just is. All right, we can wrap us up.
All right, guys, thank you so much. We started this whole conversation with subscribe, then become an MK Ultra with a small donation. You can help us fund specific projects like meeting up in person on ko-fi.com/morningkickaround. Thank you, everyone, contributing both to the channel and to the Ko-Fi. You can follow along on social media, X, Instagram, and Blue Sky. The tag is at mkickaround. And notes, we like getting emails other than people talking about marketing scams and such. I like hearing from them, K Ultras, via email, morningkickaround@gmail.com. More exciting stuff to come. It's a packed week. We got a bunch of great guests. Greg was great today. We'll get some more good stuff along the way. We'll be back Wednesday morning. Until then, everybody, please enjoy your soccer.